homemade rice noodles. Hi and welcome to cheekyricho's homemade pad thai noodles. For this recipe you are going to need 420 grams of basmati rice, to which we are going to add 500 grams of boiled but cool water. We are going to pour the water onto the rice, give it a mix around and put it in the refrigerator for between 24 and 48 hours. The reason that we are using the boiled water is rice can deteriorate rapidly if you introduce a bacteria, so the boiled water will make sure that there is no bacteria introduced. So in a day or so we're going to come back to it. It must be kept in the refrigerator as well, and that's ready to absorb that water. Our basmati rice has been soaking in our boiled water for a day and a half. Hasn't really done that much. Gone a little whiter perhaps, less opaque. Now we have to grind this to incredibly smooth paste. It's just got to be like corn flour and water. We don't want any grit in it at all, if at all possible, because it's going to compromise the texture of our noodles when we go to steam those. And we will have to scrape down the sides occasionally to ensure all of the rice grains are evenly blitzed. This could get noisy. Now that's been going for about 3 minutes on speed 10. I'm just testing it and it's still got a few grains in it, sort of very, very fine sand, almost like a exfoliating cream texture. We'll just blitz it for another 2 minutes more. Yeah. As you can see, the grains are just about non-existent now. It's quite amazing the power of these machines. This is actually warm. It's not hot, but it's warm. The friction in the motor has actually heated this rice mixture up. It's come out of the fridge, so it's better than room temperature, better than tepid. That's great. Okay, this is the consistency that we're after. Sort of like a corn flour water mix, or custard powder water mix. Now we have put some boiling water into our Thermochef jug, and now we are going to brush a piece of silicone baking paper with some oil. I'm using canola oil. You could use rice bran. I wouldn't be using a strong flavoured oil because you don't want it to compromise the rice. So we're just going to brush that, and now we're going to pour into that a thin layer of our rice mixture. Just a thin layer. I don't know how much that is. Give it a little swizzle around. Now we're going to set the speed to 2 aroma temperature for 7 minutes. Okay, our 7 minutes is up and our noodles are no longer sticky. They actually look like noodles. That's great. So we give another coat of oil onto these noodles, just as they are. Good coat of oil on there. Don't worry, this is all going to be coming off later. And then we throw on top of that another layer. And we turn it back on again. Speed 2 for aroma temperature, another 7 minutes. Okay, after our further 7 minutes, we are going to remove the paper very carefully and place our double layer of noodles onto a wooden board. Just tip them out, like so. Put our paper back into our varoma again. Brush it with a little more oil and make another layer of the rice noodles. And just keep repeating the process until you've actually used up all of your rice mixture. Another 7 minutes, speed 2, varoma temperature. Okay, while the varoma is doing its thing, we're going to slice up our pad thai noodles. I like to make them about 1 inch thick, and we're going to plunge them into cold fresh water to cool. Hot. drop them in. When they cool, we'll break them apart and they'll be ready to prepare your pad thai. You can of course make them any thickness that you like. Just wipe your knife off periodically as well because this rice is really quite sticky. And now we're just going to separate our noodles like so. How easy is that? Separate them. They're really quite slippery and rubbery. Whilst the rest of the noodles are cooking in the aroma, we're going to get a storage container and just brush it lightly with the balance of the oil. Our pad thai noodles have cooled now, and there they are there. We're just going to lay them into the container. We're making a layer with these. And then we're going to put the baked paper that comes out of the aroma over the top of them. And the next lot of noodles I'm going to slice thinner to do a different dish with. There we go, our pad thai noodles. They of course have to be kept in the refrigerator until it's time to prepare them for the meal tomorrow. Now our other noodles have come out. We're going to lay this paper on top of our pad thai noodles because we want to keep these separate. This will be the easiest way to do it. I'm going to cut these ones quite thin. A big knife, it's starting to look like it's not long enough. Wipe off occasionally to make sure that the rice doesn't stick to it, and also to get the oil off the handle so that you don't split. This is a very sharp knife. Now all we have to do now is separate these noodles and lay them on top of the baked paper in the container, and they're ready for a different noodle dish. Haven't quite decided on yet, but I'm sure it will be wonderful. Using these lovely fresh noodles, you know exactly what's gone into them, and it's very economical and very satisfying to make something like this yourself. Because they've been oiled in between the layers, they separate quite readily. And there you have it, homemade rice noodles. I hope you enjoyed this little video demonstration and do give it a try. There's something very satisfying about making noodles and bread and pasta yourself. You know exactly what's gone into it, and you've got enough from that recipe to make 2 different batches for 2 different meals. If you'd like to see any more interesting recipes or ideas, perhaps a review, just check out my cheekyricho channel. Don't forget to leave me a comment and a subscribe, and thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day.